Hi, we are Group 602 and this is REACH, our solution to the volunteerism problem in Singapore.
So, the problem. Despite the steadily rising rates of volunteerism over the past few years, increasingly irregular patterns of volunteerism have been observed among volunteers. Members in the society are slowly becoming detached from the community and volunteerism. This suggests a retrogressive and inward-looking society. We believe that volunteers need to engage with individuals in the community on a deeper level and consistently in order to contribute to and create a sufficient impact on the community.
Now, let us look at an existing solution for this problem. SG Cares is a portal provided by NBPC that coordinates efforts between social service organizations, companies, and public agencies. It provides people convenience to donate and to find causes that they care about. However, it has its drawbacks. People have frequently complained about the poorly designed interface on SG Cares. Its search filters are inaccurate and inefficient. More importantly, it does not address the crux of the issue. Most people have a desire to volunteer, they just need a slight nudge in that direction. Simply having a portal to ease the process of finding volunteer work will not address this issue. Hence, we need a drastically different approach to get more people to volunteer.
Now, let us look at the proposed solution. REACH is a volunteering application that connects volunteers to volunteering organizations. Users will be able to participate in missions, which are just volunteering opportunities around Singapore. There will be many options available to participate either individually or as a group. Users will be able to unlock experience points, which will then move them to a different tier and in turn allow them to unlock more missions. So how does this application work? We will work together with volunteering organizations across Singapore to provide users with a list of missions for them to participate in. One such example of a mission could be Code in the Community. Users participating in this mission will have to commit to the full 6-month period and they will have to clear some requirements as well. Once they have finished this mission, they will unlock a set number of experience points which might move them to another tier. Users will have access to a profile page where they can track all their statistics, look at all the missions they have participated in, and have a graphical display of the breakdown of their missions. By looking at the progress they have made and seeing the positive feedback from their voluntary work, we hope that this will give people a sense of fulfillment and an intrinsic motivation to continue volunteering. There will also be a nationwide leaderboard where users can get a good sense of the work that has been done around Singapore. To get this application up and running, we will have to involve several stakeholders. Since we are targeting younger audiences, we will be working together with the community involvement programs in schools to onboard students. In addition, volunteers or ex-volunteers will receive extra incentives upon downloading the application. We will also be working closely with various voluntary organizations around Singapore to enrich our application with more opportunities. Lastly, we will work with the government to tie in with community-centered initiatives around Singapore.
Our application closely follows the SMART metric. It is specific in that it's contained within our system of consideration, carefully targeting and minimizing side effects. It is measurable, it has a direct impact on the rate of volunteerism in Singapore, and this can be quantified. It's achievable and it can be implemented realistically with the amount of resources that we have currently, and it is very relevant because the time to get people to volunteer is now. Our solution is also time-bound because although we are looking for long-term impact across generations, we can constantly track changes at various stages in time.
REACH is the first app of its class in Singapore where gamification has been brought to volunteering. Users engage in a volunteer activity, they accumulate a record in the app. By observing the impact they and their peers have brought about, there's a positive feedback which leads to reinforcement. Over the long term, there's a build-up of a sense of reward which then leads to more and more volunteer activity. This positive feedback loop continues across generations and allows the nation to come together and volunteer.
Our solution is effective because it is in line with the spirit of volunteering. The motivation behind volunteering should be intrinsic and not a compulsion. The gamified experience provided by REACH builds on the innate passion for giving and sharing. It harnesses the power of technology to reach far and wide with a good cause. That makes Reach so elegant.
Moving on to some of the improvements we have for our application in the long term. The first being partnerships with various organizations. We hope to collaborate with volunteer and government organizations as well as institutions and fully bring out the potential of our application by tapping into the shared resources of these partnerships. We also aim to spread greater awareness of our application through the human element of persuasion in the form of talks at schools and institutions as well as through social media. Past the initial launch, regular updates will be performed to ensure the interface is well maintained and that the app stays fresh. New features will also be implemented from time to time that will motivate current users to continue contributing to the community and even spark a passion in non-volunteers to take up volunteering. To conclude, we believe that there is great potential for the future of volunteerism in Singapore by addressing the barriers to volunteerism. We hope that through the use of our application, we can encourage current and previous volunteers to keep giving back to the community and showcase their contributions and achievements of active volunteers in order to ignite the passion for volunteering in non-volunteers. We recognize the importance of the spirit of giving among members of the society and hope to reinforce this through Reach in order to build a strong and cohesive community for Singapore.